Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Welcome to the online meeting of Speakers Community Toastmasters Club. I'm pleased to be your sergeant at arms for today's meeting. In the online meeting environment, there are few instructions that we follow. First, I request you to rename yourself. All the Toastmasters can prefix TM to your name and guests can prefix guest. I also request all the speakers and the role holders to prefix their role to their name so that it's easy to identify them. Second, all the speakers are requested to do a quick audio and video check before they start their speech. Third, I would request you to not type in the chat box when the speaker is speaking as it disturbs the speaker. You can use private chat to provide feedback. Fourth, you are all requested to keep your audio on mute in case you aren't speaking. Please refrain from unnecessary moments or sipping on drinks. If your video is on, please turn off the video in case you need to do so. Fifth, do not click on the share screen unless your speech or role requires to do so. You can display hi-fi or namaste when taking over or leaving from the role. You can connect with the Toastmaster for any technical glitch. The Toastmaster for the today's meeting is Toastmaster Monica. If you are a speaker, then please ensure you pin the timer on confirm that the same is visible at all the times. This meeting is being recorded. In case you have any reservation, please let us know. You can network during the break and after the meeting. Now, let me share the mission of the club. We provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, it's time to introduce the presiding officer, who is really beautiful, and all the time she is great speaker and ready to learn anywhere and anytime. She's very happy to meet you all guys all the time wherever you are. So now let me welcome our presiding officer Toastmaster Kalpana, and I'm hand overing the session to our presiding officer. Over to you, Toastmaster Kalpana.
Thank you so much, Monica. I know I'm ready. I'm a people person. And I also warmly extend this meeting to my club, Speakers Community Toastmasters Club 79th meeting. Thank you for joining us today. And let's look forward to a good and a great time. I just want to ask you all, how many of us feel that we have to find ourselves? Don't you think we are looking for ourselves, looking to find ourselves from childhood? Anybody, how many of us feel that we have found ourselves, or we have found what we are looking for within ourselves? Anybody?
It never stops, honestly.
Yeah, it never stops. It's a journey that I feel we go on, and at every step we discover a new us, and still we wonder how come we are not able to find us. I came across an interesting write-up today while I was scrolling on social media, as usual. That's our time pass, and yet we have and come across some great knowledge that we like to share, especially at Toastmasters. So here I am. And let me read out what this particular post tells us. Finding yourself is not really how it works. You aren't a $10 bill in last winter's coat pocket. Well, I didn't know that. I always thought I was value. You are also not lost. That means we are not looking for something that is lost to us. Your true self is right there, buried under cultural conditioning, other people's opinions, and inaccurate conclusions you drew as a kid that became your beliefs about who you are. Finding yourself is actually returning to yourself, and unlearning and excavation, a remembering who you were before the world got its hands on you. I think that's very true. We are who we were when we were born, when we didn't have the thappas or the seals of various opinions, various cultural backgrounds, which were just stamped on us based on the region that we were born in, or based on the place that we were born in, based on a culture that we were born in. But otherwise, when it comes to finding ourselves, I think after I read that post is that we are all humans. We are all here as a life, and we are here to actually achieve something in this life. So let me take this meeting forward. Now, after having or trying to find ourselves, at least a part of us on Toastmasters, I would like to hand this part of me to the Toastmaster of the day, which happens to be me. So I find another part of me within the same meeting today. So I, Kalpana, Toastmaster of the day, welcome you all again very warmly to this meeting. Thank you so much for making this meeting wonderful. Your presence itself has made me realize that I have found a part of me that I resonate in others. Theme of today actually is stories. Nani ki kahaniyaan. You know why I thought of fables and stories? I know storytelling has become quite huge and quite big. But whenever I think of stories, I remember a story that my mom used to always tell me. A very intriguing, very funny, very lyrical story. So here I go with the story. There was a myna and a crow. They were friends. They decided that let us do some harvesting and have our storage full for the rainy season, so that we need not go out in the monsoons to collect our daily rations. But you know the clever crow? He's not just clever, he's also cunning. But dear Maina, she used to come every day and tell the crow, come on, let's go. Let's just go and pluck out some grains that is growing in the farmer's land. And this crow said, oh, I'm first going to tell this in Gujarati as the way I've heard it before I translate it. Okay. Thaga thaya karu chu, chachuri gadau chu, jao kabar bin kal velo chu, which means, oh my God, I'm limping and lumping. My beak is not strong. Don't take me wrong, but I promise you I'll come tomorrow. And there goes the myna, thinking the crow is really unwell. The show continues. Taga thaya karuchu. I'm crumpled and lost. Don't take me wrong, but I'll surely join you tomorrow. So what happened? This myna, she actually did all the hard work and separated the wheat from the chaff. So there were two big heaps. One was the wheat, one was the chaff. The day it was over, completed, she flew down to the crow and said, it's ready. The crow immediately said, oh, my beak is all good. It is nice and sharp. I'm ready. I'm coming, he said. And he flew down. The minute he saw the larger heap, he started to head towards it, because not only was he lazy, he was also cunning. And the miner shouts, "No, no, 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 my dear bro. Please do not go there. You will find yourself diving and you'll get stuck in it. That's the chaff. That's not the wheat." But would the crow listen? The greed overtook him. The greed that without even moving or pecking or using his beak to gain something, he was diving, getting something absolutely free. And he simply nose dived, flying into the heap, and found himself stuck, unable to come out. And Maina said, "You should have listened to me and enjoyed the heap of wheat to and for herself." That taught me quite a lot of things. Laziness is not an answer. Cheating someone is not an answer, right? Being over smart is also not smartness at the end of the day. And that made me realize that if you do all three of these together, the karma waits you. And karma is going to actually grab you into that husk of the wheat, and you might find yourself strangled. So, yes, Nani ki kahaniyaan or stories have shaped our lives. Those fantasies, those stories that had a cultural backing, mythological stories. Growing up on a magazine that was available at one point of time known as Chanda Mama. I don't know how many of you have heard of it, but we are now mostly into the English literature. But there used to be Chanda Mama that was available in Hindi, Gujarati, and other local languages. And we used to be voracious readers, reading the stories of Vikram and Vetal. More about stories later on. Let me introduce you to how a Toastmasters meeting functions. A Toastmasters meeting is generally divided into three segments. The first one being the prepared speeches, the second being the table topic round, and the third being the general evaluator. The very first round of prepared speeches is a round where the speakers who have prepared, they deliver their speeches, and they are supposed to deliver it within a time frame of 5 to 7 minutes. The second round, table topic round, is really a great round because it brings forth the creativity in you. It brings forth your capability to organize, arrange your thoughts, and recall whatever you might have read and want to present it logically within the stipulated time of 2.5 minutes. Now that's a challenge. It's known as the extempore speech or table topic rounds and Toastmasters. The third round is the general evaluation round. Now that's the best round of all, because while you're going around with everything, you actually don't realize that you might have made some errors. And so there is a Sherlock Holmes who were there as a general evaluator who points out what you could have done better and what you have missed out on. That is what Toastmasters is all about. But hey, nothing is a one-man show. I always carry my tag team along with me. They are my dwarfs. They are my angels in today's story. All right. So let me introduce you to my timer Monica. Kindly tell us the rules of the time.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. First, let me pee. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. Welcome, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. I am a timer for a day. As Kalpana said, it is not the one-man show. As we see all the movies and films, like there are the many characters. It is not like about the only actor. That hero and the heroes. There are villains and the many other supportive characters. So, like, I also hear fine. Toastmaster is not all about the only speakers. It is about the timer. It is about the grammarian. It is about the accountant. Like these roles. Also the evaluator. Also the general evaluator. Also the Toastmaster of the day. So these all the roles. So I'm playing today as a timer. So as a timer, my duty is to time the prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluation. For the prepared speech, the time allotted varies as per the project and will be stated by the evaluator. For instance, for an icebreaker, time is allocated is 4 to 6 minutes. For the table topics, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. For evaluation, the time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes. Speaker must meet the specified time limit to qualify for the award at the end of the meeting. So I will display the green screen at the minimum qualifying time and the yellow screen at the midpoint of the qualifying time, and red screen at the maximum qualifying time till the end of the speech. For prepared speech and evaluation, the speaker has 30 seconds grace before and after the maximum qualifying time. For the table topics, there is only 30 seconds only after the red screen is displayed. So all the speakers who continue to speak behind the 30-second grace will not be allowed for the voting. I will report the time taken by the speakers when called upon. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Monica, for that wonderful insight on what a timer's role is. Tell me, what is your favorite story? In 3 to 5 lines. What is the story and how has it made an impact on you?
Story that, as I said, the Toastmaster is like not about the only speakers. So it is all about the all the roles, and I joined to become a really great speaker as you. I wish, and so I started with the timer role as I find it is a very easy role to do. So now I almost only the general evaluator and evaluation. These two roles are remain till today, and all the roles I have gone through. So this is my the small story that I'm going through all the roles here on the Toastmaster and meeting you all guys every Saturday afternoon.
Thank you so much, Monica. I think it's really great of you to make a story out of meetings. Very few things that they are adding to a story in their life. And this story is a great learning story. Yes, at Toastmasters, we carry away a lot of values, lot of integrity, and lot of learnings. I now move on to my second draft, or the angel or the goblin, whoever the person would like to take the tag on in this story of today, my counter, Sakshi. Toastmaster Sakshi, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. Good afternoon, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I hope I'm audible and visible.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Imagine if Gmail and other services providers if they did not filter your spam emails we received. Our inbox would have always remained filled with some useless emails, making it rough for us to find the right and useful messages. Don't you think so? Well, guess what? Unknowingly, while speaking on stage, we spam our speeches too with some words such as like, etc. And they make it tough for our audience to get our messages. So as an counter, my job is to filter all those filler words spamming our speeches. I will keep a track of them and present my report towards the end of the meeting. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Shakshi, for ensuring that we control our ahs and oohs. And what is your favorite story of, that you might have read? Your favorite character? How has it influenced you?
Ah, my favorite story has been historic Ramayana. So I am a fan of Ramayana, and yesterday I was watching the Legend of Hanuman. So Hanuman is someone I looked up to because Ram always had some faith in Hanuman, and whenever even a mentor have a faith in you, you can do incredible thing in your life. So I feel that the aspect of faith is very important, and that's what I've learned from Ramayana. Thank you.
Absolutely. It is actually a winning of the good over the evil. And that is something that's close to my heart too, because I never miss out on any Ravan Dahan. It just brings in a lot of satisfaction because I close my eyes and I imagine all my greed, my jealousy, my anger, all the negative points that I keep it in the stored box of my mind. I allow them to burn when I go to see Ravana, because I feel that Ravan and Ram resides within us. What a wonderful insight, and what a wonderful way to tell what is your favorite story.
Thank you.
Yes, I have one more goblin. I think this is a little elf. And this little elf is waiting behind the tree, peeping out to see when his or her name is going to be called out. May I request Grammarian Sweta to give us the rules of grammarian? What is it that we should watch out for?
Thank you, Kalpana. Uh, Welcome, Toastmasters of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm the grammarian for the day. As a grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any incorrect usage of grammar, as well as any good usage of word, quotes, saying, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce you to the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word of the day is adroit, which means capable, skillful. For example, a prepared speaker has to be adroit in their speech. The phrase of the day is pull out all the stops, which means to make a big effort to achieve something, to make something successful. For example, like we can use it like we are going to pull out all the stops to get the show ready on time. So each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day, and I'll show a thumbs up when someone will use the word of the day or phrase of the day. I'll give my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Kalpana.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shweta. And yes, again, the same question. Which is your favorite story, and how has it so far, been a life lesson to you and that you adhere to?
I'm not able to recall any story as of now, but our own life is a story wherein we daily are adding something, and I am part of Agnel group, so I have first time taken up role in some other Toastmasters group, so meeting new people, adding some new aspects is a kind of story to me.
Fantastic. I agree, with such adroit gathering. I think today we are going to pull all the stops where this meeting is concerned. So I am moving forward now towards the first segment, that is prepared speeches. Let me call upon the first speaker, Imran, evaluator. Imran's evaluator is Toastmaster Geet. Zoom Master, kindly highlight Toastmaster Geet.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kalpana. Good afternoon, all. My target speaker for today's meeting is Toastmaster Imran, who will be attending Level 1, Project 4 of Pathway Presentation Mastery. The purpose of this project is to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. And another purpose of this project was to apply the feedback that was received in his last project by the speech evaluator. So I wish all the best to Toastmaster Imran, and the title of the speech is Opportunities. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Toastmaster Imran, could you switch on your video, please? And just a moment. Could you just say, it's a good storytelling session. I want to hear you. It's a good storytelling session. Repeat after me.
It's a good storytelling session.
Absolutely, you are absolutely audible. All right, and visible too. Toastmaster Imran, opportunities. Opportunities, Toastmaster Imran.
Imagine someone offers you an amazing opportunity, but you are not sure you can do it. You are afraid, you are feeling fear. In this situation, what you will going to do? I encourage you to say yes, grab the opportunity first, and then learn how to do it. My dear friends, nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity. One single opportunity can change your life. Dear Master of Ceremony, my dear fellow Toastmaster and guest, yes, one opportunity changed my life. It was my dream to speak in English. My dreams remain dreams for many years. You know why? Because I don't take any action. Without action, your dreams will be always dream. So I take action to join different session so that I can get the opportunity to speak with another one. Once, while I was scrolling my Facebook, I saw a person post that there was a session, learn English by speaking English. I immediately joined this session. And I get opportunity to speak about 5 minutes on that session. I was so happy. And I was keep joining this session day after day. And finally, I become comfortable with speaking. Through this session, I find a friend from Pakistan. He's an amazing guy. He helped me to reach out with another friend from another country. By this, I was like traveling different kinds of country without visa. It was interesting journey. So finally, I find a friend. I was keep connected with him so that I get the opportunity to speak. One day, my dream come true. The person invite me to be a guest speaker in his platform. On that moment, I was scared. I was thinking, shall I go to be a guest speaker in their platform or not? Then I decided that I will be the speaker no matter what happens. I say yes. Later, what I did, I asked the person, would you mind to give me the question, what you are going to ask throughout the whole session? He said, no, this is not our agenda. It's your duty. You have to find out. You have to research on this topic. Then I researched about this certain topic and go for this session, and I did it. I was so happy. Few days later, this person again invite me as a guest speaker, and I said yes. This way I overcome my fear of stage speaking, and then this person offered me another opportunity to join Toastmaster meeting. I said yes. I joined with different club, and I able to learn so many things, and I find this is a platform where I can learn with positive support. So I became the member of Toastmaster International. After joining Toastmaster International, I was playing all the roles. By this, I overcome my fear and I become comfortable in public speaking. If you look at this story, what will happen if I don't accept his offer? Maybe someone else will accept this opportunity. Remember, opportunity never disappears. Your opportunity will take another one if you say no. So be careful. Whenever you find any opportunity, accept it and then learn how to do it. But here, another thing, opportunity will not come to you automatically. You have to work for it. I spent thousands hours to get this opportunity. I was connected with that person more than 6 months. Then I find this opportunity. So many of we are in Toastmaster. Why we join Toastmaster? We join here to become a great speaker, to be a leader, to develop our self-growth. But many of we are afraid of taking roles. Why? Because we are afraid. Here I encourage you, please accept the role and then ask your mentor, ask your fellow Toastmaster how you will going to deal with this particular role. You will able to find the solution. So I want to give you two messages. If you want to find opportunities in your life, you have to work for it. And by working day after day, while you are find this opportunity, you have to grab this opportunity as early as possible. Otherwise, another will accept this opportunity. So grab this opportunity and then ask for help. Everyone is here ready to help you. I find many people who are always ready to help. Just we have to reach out them. So grab the opportunity, work for opportunity, and perform it greatly. So I challenge you to work for your opportunity and grab all the opportunity you get. In Toastmaster journey, every role is great opportunity to become best in public speaking. So please work on it, accept this opportunity, and perform it well. I wish you all the best. Over to you, Master of Ceremony.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran. We will now be moving on to Speaker 2. Speaker 2's evaluator is Toastmaster Parita. Kindly highlight Toastmaster Parita Zoom Master.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Wonderful. Very good afternoon to one and all. Today my
just a second, I'm sorry to interrupt. Your video is not on. Will you prefer? You're not highlighted. Toastmaster Monica, could you highlight Parita, please? Wait, I'll pin you. Give me a second. Yes.
now.
Yeah, please start. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Once again, good afternoon to one and all. Today my target speaker is Toastmaster Chetan Thakkar. Toastmaster Chetan is attempting level 2 project 1 of Pathway Dynamic Leadership. The purpose of his speech should be for the member to share some aspect of his primary leadership skills and discuss the leadership skill in general otherwise. The time allotted for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. The title of his speech is MIMO. Looking forward for the adroit speech from Toastmaster Chetan. All the best.
All right. Thank you so much, Evaluator Parita. We are moving on to speaker two, Chetan. Zoom Master, kindly highlight Toastmaster Chetan. Toastmaster Chetan. M-I-M-O. Mimo. M-I-M-O. Mimo. Toastmaster Chetan.
Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This is the picture of my late grandmother. She has been an absolute inspiration for me when it comes to anything today. I'll just share a quick story about my childhood. I was always the primary reason for her existence because my grandfather had passed away when my dad was about 9 years old. So when I was in the family, my grandmother would carry me all around, would pamper me to the core. And it was a very, very special experience. Every day, every hour, every time of the day, she had all the time for me. It was a very, very unique bond that we shared between grandmother and the grandchild. Today, too, she lives in my memories. And when I look back, it was like till I was in 5th grade, she actually fed me. I never used to eat on my own. When I used to be in the hall or in the living room or the bedroom, she used to just gauge when I was just about to get up and fill out a glass of water. And she would say, you don't get up, I will get it for you. So pampered to the core. Little did I know that I was experiencing magic. When I look back now, all that really seems like magic. I also did not know that this was laying the foundation for my mantra today in the corporate world or in the personal world, which is to create magic using primarily the relationships that we share. And a lot of it is because I experienced this right from my childhood. And that's why the mantra for today is MIMO, which means magic in, magic out. There has been so much magic put in me that I've experienced from my childhood up to my adulthood that it has been really, really remarkable. And today, when I look back and reflect upon the things, it's primarily because of that, the attitude that I carry or the way that I carry myself has a lot to do in terms of the magic which has gone in, right? And these were very, very special moments, whether it be playing cards with her or just spending time. She would let me cheat so that I win in the playing cards game. She would know that I'm cheating, but still would never utter a word. It was just a case of experiencing magic. And today, in the corporate world, while I filled out this whole sheet, and my main qualities are mainly democratic or altruistic. But what I really add to these qualities is primarily that factor of relationships, which makes people experience the magic. So today, when I look at my team, I look at giving them that experience of magic. And how do I do that? So the magic in, magic out for me is that I accept the team as they are. I accept the team as they are. There's a family first priority which is given to the entire team. And the number 3 point is that we just sow the seeds of trust and nurturing within the team, which really helps that tree of the tree of trust build within the organization, whether it's corporate or it's the personal life. It's primarily these 3 points. Number 1, accept individuals as they are. So I would like to portray this with an example, right? So my son is a total opposite of who I am today. So I am the most disciplined guy, and he's the one who is a gamer. So my wake up time is the time when he sleeps. So those are the extreme levels, right? And I had somewhere wished for that kind of a child that really is known to people, not the shant kind or the quiet kind or the silent kind like me. And it's really amazing. It's primarily that acceptance that I received from my grandmother long time ago, which makes me accept him as an individual, right? And similarly, even at office, that there are individuals who are not very good at writing skills, but they are good at other skills. And I would readily pitch in for their writing skills. And I would say, okay, I will go ahead and do the writing part. You take care of something else. And primarily, it's because that acceptance of who you are is primarily there. So that's one. The number two part is the family first. Now, I have seen this family or experienced this family so beautifully that anything related to the family, if anyone talks about it. So there's a co-worker called Sarika. She was supposed to take over from the guy called Rakesh just about 2 weeks back when Rakesh was traveling to Kashmir. Now, 2 days before Rakesh was supposed to travel, Sarika said that her mom is not well. So without even a thought, I said, fine, you just take the days off, not a problem at all. We will work about it as to how do we go about it. Now, it has to be balanced by the challenges that we face, right? So Rakesh was going to Kashmir, and I just requested him, can you work from Kashmir? And he obliged because there is that bond of trust which is already there. So from that perspective, it becomes very, very easy once you have the bond of trust between the team to just request for something at such adverse moments, and people don't really mind at all. And he just worked his heart out, and that the project is supposed to go live within a couple of days. So that's the fantastic camaraderie that I share. The third one, which is all about sowing the seeds and nurturing these seeds. So it's all about building that camaraderie and the trust between the team so that we have that trust, and that is a tree which you have to nourish as a leader, and which I've realized over a period of time makes the most difference. So when I summarize or look back at the whole life of mine, where I was experiencing the magic, being pampered to the core by my grandmother, and today I am able to return that favor, and the way it comes in is very, very natural. And I owe it all to my late grandmother. But yeah, in terms of one of the best principles to have is the one of empathy. And that's what I stand for today as a leader. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Magic in, magic out. It is actually aligning with today's topic of storytelling, and what a nice speech. I now move on because it was grandmother's kahaniyas. All right, I now move on to the third speaker's evaluator, that is Amrita. Zoom master, kindly highlight Toastmaster Amrita.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Amrita, and I will be evaluating speech given by my speaker, Toastmaster Akshaya. Please note, Toastmaster Akshaya is giving her level 2 project 3 speech from the pathway innovative planning. And the purpose of her speech is to clearly define how Toastmaster envision mentoring. And please note the time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best, Toastmaster Akshaya.
Yes. Toastmaster Akshaya, Zoom Master, could you kindly highlight Toastmaster Akshaya, please?
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are audible and visible. Just give me a second. Toastmaster Akshaya, One coin, two sides. One coin, two sides. Toastmaster Akshaya.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I will start my speech with a small little game for everyone. It is called Two Truths and a Lie. So I will give you three scenarios and you will have to guess which ones are true and which one is false. Yeah, so here goes. The first situation. I was a 7 to 8-year-old girl who was at school and we had this fancy dress competition. And the theme was to dress up as someone we aspire to be or want to be. And there I was standing with all the other children, all of them dressed in various costumes. And I was dressed in a business suit and basically a suit, jacket, coat, the whole works. And each student was called up on stage and was told to say who inspired them and what is their costume about. So each student went up and finally it came to my turn. I was already sweating bullets at this point because I was already scared of being on stage. And when the professor or the teacher asked me who was I dressed as, my first answer was my mother. And they asked me why my mother, and I said I wanted to grow up to be her. This next is the second scenario. The second scenario is where I was studying English. And English, though, when I was young, for me, understanding Elizabethan English was more difficult because as in 8th, 9th, we have Julius Caesar and Macbeth and various other topics that we learn. And we have the original text to teach from, or rather to learn from. So I had this professor who used to take out time to spend time to explain to me and make me understand these texts so I could better understand English. And the third scenario is that once there was a classmate of mine who was not able to understand a certain subject in hotel management when I was a graduate. So I spent about 4 hours after college. So our college was in Bandra, I live in Belapur, and the distance is 1.5 hours by train only. So you can understand, I spent another 3 hours after school to help this person understand the subject because we were having an exam coming a week later. So these are the three scenarios. Now, please, those of you can unmute and tell me which of these three stories you think is true or false. Come on, don't be shy. This is going to be fun for you guys to get to know me a little bit. Anyone?
I think all of them are true.
Who was that?
Sakshi.
Well, you're right, Sakshi. All three of them are true because there is no lie. All of these are stories of my life. And part of what my speech is to talk about the different times either I have been a mentor or a mentee and how my journey has been and how it has come to be in Toastmasters as well. So very right, Sakshi. So when the first scenario, my parents have always been my greatest inspiration, especially my mother. Even today, I can really not leave the house without telling my mother I'm going. It's impossible for me. And there are very serious scenarios for me, various scenarios in my life where I've always depended on my mother more. No matter how much she annoys me, she constantly scolds me, I've always been following her in what she does. And though in a roundabout way, I managed to become an MBA graduate like my mother. Second is when it comes to my teachers, I've always had very good teachers, whether it be for language teachers or it be for even mathematics. And for mathematics, my most favorite teacher was my grandfather. He was a mathematics professor in a very well-renowned college in Hyderabad. And though he would have the habit of pinching you if you don't study or sit in one place, he still is one of the greatest teachers I've ever had when it came to mathematics. The next two stories that I'll be telling is that of when I was a mentor. So the first situation was when I used to live in Bahrain. So I used to have this best friend of mine from school, and I used to have sleepovers with her very often. Because every summer we used to be literally sleeping at each other's houses. During one sleepover, her mother used to tutor children for school. So because she was busy with many other students, I decided, okay, I will tutor one child. And unfortunately for me, I got a child who basically had no interest in the subject. And this was a subject I truly loved, was biology and study of animals. So I could not, I got so annoyed because he was not even paying attention when someone is explaining it to him. So basically, I spent 2.5 hours just hammering in details to him because the next day he had a test on the same subject and the same questions. And I don't know what happened. I did my part. Next day, I left in the morning because it was time for me to go home. Believe it or not, a week later, he comes back to the house, to my friend's mother's house, with balloons, chocolates, cake, everything, saying he passed the test with flying colors. And this made me realize that no matter what you are as a mentor, whether you get annoyed, whether you get this thing, but what you greatly need to have is patience. Being patient with the other person is something I learned through this experience. Now, the second scenario I had also as a mentor was to teach this young girl who lives in our house, in our ancestral house, who's the cook's daughter, really, to teach her various subjects when I'm there during vacations. And she is, as all children are, don't want to sit in one place and study because you come home from a long day of school, you just want to run around with your siblings and play and to watch TV and spend time with your grandmother, uncle, aunt, everyone. So I had the job of teaching her English, Hindi, which are higher level subjects because my grandmother could no longer teach. So during this entire patience, yes, again, I found it annoying because like any childhood, it's difficult to handle children who are always want to run away. But through this also, I also learned that every child is different. And there was one scenario where she was trying to understand how to count money. Like we have no 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 3 rupee, you count each one. So there was one, and she was not able to understand. She kept on saying 5 plus 1 is 7. That is 5 rupees plus 1 rupee is 7. So at one point, my grandmother and I was literally banging our head against the wall. And finally, I decided, okay, I'll do it another way. I took out all the coins I had, all the notes I had, kept it all in front of her, and told her, now, which is a 5 rupee coin, which is a 1 rupee coin, add them together, how much you have. And this made me realize that teaching and learning for different children, for different people is very different in how they perceive. That is all based on the mentor you are and how you find new ways to teach people. And the last topic that I will talk about is my Toastmasters mentorship till today. It has been wonderful. I have a wonderful mentor, Jamie, who I went out to dinner with one day so that I could understand Toastmasters better, what I can get out of Toastmasters. And honestly, the entire journey till now as being a mentor and a mentorship, like my topic title says, one coin, two sides. This is a coin that I would like to continue to flip during my entire life, because being both a mentor and a mentee is an interesting and a good learning journey for anyone who hasn't done. Thank you very much.
Akshaya, that was really good. That felt like a storybook with short stories. Each and every incident that you said or spoke were really a short story in themselves or by themselves. Let's move on to the next speaker. Our next and the last speaker is none other than Speaker Mayur. And Mayur's evaluator is Ajay. Zoom Master, I request you to highlight Toastmaster Ajay.
Thank you so much, TMOD Toastmaster Kalpana. And I am audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, okay. Once again, good afternoon, everyone. And a special good afternoon to the Toastmaster Mayur. He is attempting his level 2 P3 speech from the Pathway Strategic Partnership. And this speech has two objectives. First is the purpose of this project is for members to clearly define how Toastmaster envision mentoring. And second is the purpose of this project is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. The title of his speech is "We Rise by Lifting Others," and the time limit for his speech is 5 to 7 minutes. And all the very best, Toastmaster Mayur. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ajay, for briefing us on his evaluation criteria. Toastmaster Mayur, would you like to just say that it's an interesting day?
Yeah, it's an interesting day.
Absolutely. You are audible as well as visible. Toastmaster Mayur. We rise by lifting others. We rise by lifting others. Toastmaster Mayur.
Do you have mentors in your life? I suppose everybody has. A mentor can be anyone. It can be your mother, your father, your siblings, your close friends, or your teacher. We all need someone to share their own life lessons, isn't it? Someone who can push to go forward and at times who can protect us from our mistakes. And I could share with you many examples through movies. For instance, Harry Potter. Who was his mentor? Can anybody unmute and guess?
Dumbledore.
No.
Lupin.
As a hint, she was a professor.
McGonagall.
Yeah, correct. McGonagall. So the professor McGonagall consistently kept a close eye on that Harry. At the same time, believed in Harry, allowed him to discover himself, and protect him to come out of all the challenges. A mentor sometimes could make a mistake, but overcomes those mistakes. Mentor could encounter obstacles, but overcome them. And now I'm going to share you my experience as a protege, or in other words, a mentee. I consider my parents as my first mentor. Let's start with my mother. My mother was a teacher. She used to teach me not because I should get a good grades or a good marks, but for concepts. And at the same time, my father, he used to say me that I should focus on all the activities that are going on. So I studied hard, I participated in all the activities, and at the same time, I came out of, or I tried to eliminate all the distractions that could reduce my productivity. And because of my parents, I have built a strong competitive spirit and become more adroit. What about mentors in professional life? To my experience, I don't see people seeking or asking about the mentors in offices. Your manager or a boss cannot be your mentor. This is not a golden rule, but this is what I have experienced while working with so many companies. And they all are same. I was looking for a professional growth, but really felt fed up as my manager took all the credit for my hard work. So, to be honest, I presumed that I wasn't successful to meet my mentor at office. Coming to my gym, Mohit was my fitness coach when I started gym 5 years ago. And uh, I was really excited when I started the gym. But later on, I could not find time. So my fitness coach Mohit used to say me, "Why are you not consistent? Why are you not? Why are you skipping your gym?" So that boosted me. That gave me a big motivation, and he provided me throughout my journey of my gym with his accountability. As such, I have left the gym, but this is what he used to boost me up. Now, similarly, in Toastmasters, when I joined, what I needed was someone who can pass on some guidance or support, someone who can call, whom I can call as a mentor. Uh, Having mentors in Toastmasters for public speaking uh, is a good approach as per me. My first speech, which I drafted, that is an icebreaker speech, had around 1,000 words. And when I passed my script draft to my mentor, he was surprised. He gave me a feedback that I should maintain 600 words and I should try to keep my speech title short and try to ask some questions to the audience. At the same time, he also gave me a feedback that like writing a speech is not like writing an essay, and uh, I need to keep my sentences very short. I made so many revisions. You will not believe I have 5 versions of that script. I was very proud of my speech. And 1 month later, I was again preparing for my another speech. And when I delivered that speech with confidence, my mentor was very proud of me because I was not freezing anymore. My heartbeat was still normal. Uh, I could even open my mouth to speak. Of course, I actually wish I can speak for more than 7 minutes, but it's not allowed. And as someone rightly said, that the best way to learn is to share with others, is to teach others. In other words, we rise by lifting others. We rise by lifting others. Now, when I'm a president, I pass on my knowledge with others. Even I always say to my excom and my mentorship chair that just pass it on. As in Toastmasters, we learn together, we take the evaluations, improvement points, but we have to look always with gratitude. And because we rise by lifting others. And to sum up, to become a successful mentor, uh, one must have experience, knowledge, positive and supportive nature. He or she should be respectful, caring, and committed, uh, like an unconditional support. So that's all from my end. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
And care is always found at Toastmasters. That was really wonderful. I'm liking the way we are all going into stories today without having consciously realized that the theme is going to be fables. So that is one thing that I am thinking is magic in, magic out, as our second speaker Chetan had mentioned. Today's meeting is turning out to be magical. Before I move on to the table topic rounds, dear evaluators, I haven't forgotten you. A quick 2 to 3 lines on which is your favorite story and how it has influenced you in your life. Toastmaster Geet. Toastmaster Geet. Evaluator Geet.
Yeah.
Tell us a few lines. Yes.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kalpana. Since childhood, I was very much interested in the stories of Akbar and Birbal. I am sure that everyone must have read some of the stories in some part of their childhood. And I was always intrigued by the how wise the Birbal was. And he was also cunning because as the Akbar was the king, but he found out the ways to make him angry or advise him on the way in different ways, which will make him uncomfortable in the space of a king. But he always managed to get away with it. So I always looked up to the Birbal and the way he managed his position. And that was my part of the story. Thank you so much.
I agree with you. The intellectuality or the IQ of Birbal, I think, still stands unmatched. Every time I read their stories, I feel, oh my God, I wished I had lived in those times. Moving on to Evaluator 2, that is Toastmaster Parita. Toastmaster Parita, which is your favorite story and how does it still affect or influence you in your life? Monica, kindly highlight Evaluator Parita.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, since my childhood, I was never really keen on reading stories, and I was never a bright spark, or rather, I was never really interested in academics. So I felt that stories were, my mama was really pushing me to read stories because she wanted to enhance my English or probably my academic result. On that note, I really don't know many stories, but yes, I loved Tom and Jerry, and still I remember Tom and Jerry cartoon a lot, which I still watch with my kids, and it has always taught me keep chasing and never lose hope. There is a day that's going to come up, and that's it. That's what I like about it. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Actually, Tom and Jerry was my favorite too till I started to feel sorry for the underdog. That is the Tom. And yes, even to this day, how a small rat can actually outsmart a cat is something that has made me realize that size doesn't matter at the end of the day. So I'm moving on to the third evaluator, Amrita. Evaluator Amrita. Zoom
Yes.
Master, can you highlight Evaluator Amrita, please? Hi, Amrita.
Hello, Toastmaster Kalpana.
Tell me your favorite story and how has it been an inspiration to you?
So I never think like that. But my favorite story is race between tortoise and rabbit, and how tortoise win that race and rabbit was left. So basically, I follow that philosophy in my life also. Uh, I thought ki rushing to action. Uh, Other than that, basically you take small, tiny steps, and working towards your goal can make a difference. So basically, I follow that.
I totally agree with you because somewhere I had read a quote, and that quote was, inch by inch, life is a cinch. Means, and even if you move an inch in your life, you have actually added a point in the mileage of the life that you are enduring as a journey. Let me now move forward to our last evaluator, Evaluator Ajay. Zoom
Yes,
Master, yes.
yes, my favorite story is Harry Potter. And you have seen Harry Potter have many characters like Harry, he is a courageous person, and there is Hermione, she is intelligent. Winsley is dumb person. Winsley brothers are crazy insane person, and Hagrid is faith in Dumbledore. So they are the person who pull out all the stops to fight against the Voldemort, and they have narrated wonderful story through these teams.
Wonderful. Harry Potter. I actually, to tell you, when the first time when I watched Harry Potter, even read a book on Harry Potter, I wished I could pull out some hat tricks, you know. I had those magic powers that would help me to have the life on my terms. So I'm sure some demons, like the way they were villains in the story of Harry Potter, would have also chased me, like our evaluator third mentioned, the chasing of Tom and Jerry, right? So actually, stories is all about imagination. Stay tuned to your imagination and your creativity. I'll be coming back to it. But before that, let us see about the second segment, the timing taken by our speakers. Dear timer, could you tell us the time taken by each speaker? Timer Monica.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. The timing requests for the speakers are as Speaker 1, Toastmaster Imran took 7 minutes 1 second. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Chetan took 7 minutes 21 second. Speaker number 3, Toastmaster Akshaya took 7 minutes 30 seconds. Toastmaster speaker number 4, Toastmaster Mayu took 6 6 minutes 34 seconds. Over to you.
That means all are qualified, right?
Yeah.
I think you can launch the poll for the best speaker, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Done.
Done. All right. Thank you so much, SARS and Zoom Master, Toastmaster Monica. Let's now move on to the second segment. That is the table topic round. Toastmaster Prince is the host of the second segment of today's meeting. Meeting or talking to Toastmaster Prince was just a shot out of the blue. You know, he suddenly got in touch with me, if I recall correct. We connected when we spoke about storytelling should be included in Toastmasters. And also people told as to how to narrate a story or the importance of stories in our life. And when you put across that point, I supported him because I always felt storytelling is an art. And if we can actually ensure that that art is inculcated in all the Toastmasters, it would be a wonderful feat that we all would have achieved. And that's how we became friends. And Toastmaster Prince asked me if he can be the table topic master today. And was really overjoyed because I knew from the text we were moving on at least to the screen meeting. I hand over the stage to none other than our table topic master, Prince Bora, if I'm right, Prince Manai Bora. Over to you.
Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana, for such a wonderful introduction and sharing our story. Uh, I would say you took a lot of my table topic session questions already in this session, so that's not fair at all. Having said that, I will keep it short, and I would request members to voluntarily take up the roles. And yeah, it can go one by one. First, someone can take this voluntarily, and then I will call out a name, maybe. So anyone, so it's a table topic session. You have to think on your feet, and it's different from prepared speeches, and that will be a real test. So who is ready for today's test first? Who will go first? Any raise hands?
Don't you just change it? The person to raise his or her hand last will be the person to be the first speaker. Wouldn't that make some sense? Oh, there he goes. Chetan has raised his hand.
Okay, thank you, Tafar Chetan. So, my question for you is: people get rewarded in public for their years of hard work done in private. Do you agree? Why or why not? Over to you, Toastmaster Chetan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prince. People get rewarded in public for a lot of work that they do in private. Yeah, I think that's the external rewards that you're talking about. What I believe is the real reward for the work is the work itself. So what do I mean by that? For a person who dedicates his life to work, there is more to the work that he does. Let me illustrate this with a story. There was an artist, a person who was working on a sculpture, and he was spending hours together chiseling out the perfection in that particular art that he was forming. There was a guy who was on the side of the street watching this person 4 hours, 5 hours, and he was just perfecting that particular sculpture. Now, this guy goes and walks to the person and says that, I see you have been doing this for hours now, and it looks perfectly normal for me. Where is this sculpture going to be placed? So he said this will be placed on 40 feet above the temple. And the person says, then who is going to know whether there is that minute defect or not in that particular sculpture? How does it matter? Why are you spending so much time? So the answer that he gave was remarkable. He said, I will know if that is perfect or not perfect. So a person who really values the work that they do, value it in the perfection that they achieve. And that itself, by my case, is the reward for the particular thing. So most of these people who get lifetime achievement awards are adroit at doing what they do. And the whole purpose for them is to achieve that perfection in whatever they do. And from my perspective, it's that work itself which is the reward for them, rather than that lifetime achievement award that they get at the end of the day. So over to you, Table Topics Master.
That was an awesome perspective. You just turned around the question and just told us about the inner value of things. And I think that's a lot correct. And thank you for that wonderful speech. Moving on to next, we have already a hand raised, that is Evaluator Geet. So I would like Toastmaster Geet to answer. What's been your most awkward moment this month? So I hand over to stress to you, Toastmaster Geet.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Prince. The most awkward moment for me this month. It was actually yesterday. Yesterday, we had a physical meeting in my town, Vadodara, in Toastmasters Club of Baroda. And we didn't have a Toastmaster of the day. We didn't have general evaluator. We absolutely had only 2 role players for the whole meeting. And unfortunately, we got 6 guests for that particular meeting. So I was totally mesmerized what to do now. So on the spot, I decided, okay, today's meeting is going to be about rapid table topic session. But I didn't had any topic and noted down. So I was thinking, what should I do? So I was just calling everyone upon the stage, started talking with them, and on the spot, giving them the topics that was relatable to their life. And it was really awkward for me actually, because I didn't know nothing about their profession. I didn't know nothing about them, what were they doing. But fortunately, what I found out in table topic session, usually we give hypothetical situation or hypothetical topics in which we need to create a story behind it. But when I gave the topics that were personal to them, that were personal to their life, they were actually really emotionally invested in those topics. And that emotional investment meant a lot to the audience. Everybody was happy at the end of the meeting. So that awkward moment turned into a very wonderful moment for me and also for my club. So yeah, that was the awkward moment for this month. And it's the month, this is the month starting. So I am looking forward to another awkward moments in this particular month. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster Prince.
I must say, you took that awkward moment and make the most out of it. God gives such awkward moments to all of us. And with that, we have another speaker ready already, Toastmaster Parita. So to the Toastmaster Parita, I want to ask you, who is a non-real person, since we are talking about stories, you admire and why? Over to you, Toastmaster Parita.
Very good afternoon. Non-real character whom I admire the most. Okay, I don't know how many of you, as I said, I was not too much into stories, but I was I used to keep on watching TV and, that kind of cartoons. So when I was small, I used to usually see the cartoons. Like one of my favorites was Tom and Jerry, and other was Laura and Hardy. Yes, anybody, please raise your hands in case Laura and Hardy. Wow, wonderful. Chetan is yes. So Laura and Hardy is a big inspiration. Now you all might be having that question, why? How can Laura and Hardy be? Now that definitely was a comical series, and I had a whale of time throughout the series. My popcorns, my chips all got over. And today also they inspire me a lot. Why? The thing is, if I lose weight, I say, wow, it was Lord who usually was, and Hardy when I put on weight. All right. So they inspire whenever I am hefty or I become too healthy. I just keep on say to my husband that never mind, they had a whale of time during their period of time. I'm having right now, eating a lot of food, enjoying my life thoroughly. And it was again, they kept on chasing each other just as I and my husband do. So see, you can connect it so well that Laura and Hardy kept on chasing each other like Tom and Jerry. And the same is my story all throughout. My mom has been chasing me for studying, which I never did. My father kept on chasing me for career, some profession, which I again never did. Now I keep on chasing my children for doing something in their life, which they never do. And my husband keeps on chasing me for doing something, which again I never do. So life is all about chasing each other and enjoying the moment that you have. So that's all is all about. Thank you so much.
I must say, if we were ever to had a class on master class on table topic speeches, like we will invite you and show this recording maybe, because that was really, I would say, on thinking on your feet and speaking, building from that. So that was really cool. Toastmaster Ajay has raised his hand, but before inviting Ajay, I would like to go to our guest. Our guest Azum was there.
Toastmaster Amog, if I'm right.
Guest Amog.
Master Amog, yeah.
Is he there? I can't see him.
Yes, Prince. Can you see me now?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So, Toastmaster Amog, sorry. Toastmaster Amog, to you, my question is, what did you learn from your last friendship breakup? And that is my question to you.
All right. Thank you so much for that question there. And coming to the going to answer that, I have a very close circle. Like I don't have a big friend circle, and I specifically didn't have a friendship breakup. Maybe past 4 to 5 years, I would say. But I did have a small rift with my cousin, maybe 3 months back, right? And something that I learned back then was when people don't really value you, right? You just have to give them time and take time yourself as well, just to understand what is going wrong, and maybe after a couple of weeks get back to that and sort it right then and there. And this is something that I learned from my childhood, in the sense when something went wrong, what I would used to do is just shun it out and get out of it. But as time passed, I realized that we are all imperfect, and we definitely need to get better, and we need to accept others imperfections as well, but we need to take it slowly. Just accept how we are and how others are as well, and give it a couple of weeks and then get back to it and sort it out at the earliest such that it doesn't become a big thing. Right? So that would be my answer for your question, Prince. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amom. And that was an very mature answer, I would say. And now, Toastmaster Ajay has raised his hand, so I would like to ask Toastmaster Ajay, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. So my question to you is, what is the one place you would love to visit? What is the place you are looking forward to most in coming months?
Okay.
Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prince, for this wonderful topic. And I'm traveling solo traveling to the many places, and I was traveled most of the time is Uttarakhand, because I have loved to the mountains where I always visited. You can see when we draw the painting in our childhood is mountain and rivers and sun rising, and I want to live that kind of life in my time. I would like to see sunrise from the passing through mountain and glacier. In the upcoming month, I will plan for the Europe trip as Iceland. Recently, my one friend visited Iceland, and he saw the beautiful sunrise from there. And in the present scenario, I can go for Antarctica or Mansour upcoming in my journey, and I would love to live around the mountains and rivers. This is the most serene places where I would go every time. And in the future, recently I visited Gujarat around the Somnath, and where I see the sea as well. But I still there is lot of scope to dive into the sea. So at present scenario, I would always go for the mountain side. Yes, that's all from my side. Over to you.
That's wonderful to know. And even I love solo trips a lot, so I can relate to that. And yeah, I hope you visit more adventurous places coming ahead. And
Yep.
now I would like to take the last speaker, and I would like to invite actually uh, Shweta, who is not grammarian, who she is guest, I guess. So can you unmute yourself, Shweta?
No, actually, I've added myself through phone also. That's why.
Okay. So now you have to take that question, I guess. Is that okay? Is that
Okay.
all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So my question to you is, what's a movie that you can watch 1,000 times and you will not get tired, and why? Over to you, Toastmaster Shweta.
Okay, what is the movie I can watch? I think the first movie which comes to my mind is now is Three Idiots, because that is entertaining and it gives us this lesson that सक्सेस के पीछे मत भागो, सक्सेस तुम्हारे पीछे आएगी. So it is quite entertaining overall. So yeah.
Yes. Okay. Uh, yeah, like Three Idiots is all-time favorite evergreen movie. You can watch it with your friends, family. It doesn't matter, as many times as you can. And excellence के पीछे भागो, success जट मार के पीछे आएगी. So
Right.
that's something that touches your heart. So thank you for your speech, and thank you everyone for being so engaging in table topic session. And with that, I will end this session and is to the Toastmaster Kalpana TMOD. Over to you, Toastmaster Kalpana.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master. But we're not going to let you go without a story from you. Tell us the story that has been your favorite and has influenced you. Table Topic
I would say
Prince. Yes.
I would say Gully Boy is the movie which has influenced me a lot. when it was at the right time. So the thing I loved about it most is when the Murad, the guy who has been very underprivileged and very hopeless conditions were there, and uh, there were some abusive conditions in his home, and but he didn't underestimate himself despite all of this, and he even went on to win the rap contest. So yeah, that is something which influenced me a lot at the right time. So I would say Gully Boy.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And yes, Gully Boy it is. I agree to agree with you. Let me tell you how good creative writers can write stories. But personally, I think we are all storytellers. Are we all? Do you remember when we were children, how we cooked up stories not to go to school? How we cooked up stories from a teacher if our homework was not well at that young age, where our creative grace cells flourished, and it ensured that we created a lot of imaginary and factful friends and characters. Life sometimes, life a story where we accept and overcome challenges, where we find that card of courage, where we believe in magic, where we believe in mythology, where we look for laughter and we look for joy and we look for some thrilling or some thriller kind of an experience in our life, some suspense somewhere of not knowing what the future can hold, and then wait, like waiting for the results and for the exams, or whether it's a promotion, or whether it is some sort of a growth. Let the suspense remain. Let us enjoy the flavors of the story that our life itself is. And don't let the imagination that you have had as a grown-up person die down ever. Create stories in your mind. Turn a situation into a story. Bring in a character, bring in an idea. I have read somewhere that in Israel, during Olympics, when all the big players in to use their imagination to save the Olympiad players. The exchange of mid-air fuel while the US flights flew all the way to Israel, which had never taken place at all, was also the creation of a storyteller, because a storyteller always has an escape hatch. A storyteller creates a character that will take you out of all the troubles. Keep your creative buds alive. Write down a story, tell a story, narrate a story, because fables are fabulous. Fables are fabulous. And before I hand over to Gentle Evaluator, let me take the time report of each and every table topic. Toastmaster Monica, could you just tell me? Toastmaster Monica, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you again, Toastmaster Kalpana. The results for the table topic speakers. The first speaker is Toastmaster Chetan took 2 minutes 12 seconds. Toastmaster Git took 1 minute 49.
Oh, we lost you, Monica. Monica? All right, I think I'll take the timer reports later. Let's move. Acha, you're right. All right, we lost
She
you
is not.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Continue.
Oh,
We
sorry.
lost you. We couldn't hear you. After you repeat the timing time taken by all the speakers because we lost you in between.
Oh, okay. So sorry. Yeah. The results for the table topic.
We have lost you again. I think let's continue with the general evaluation. Let me hand it over to General Evaluator Geet. Let's continue with the third segment of today's meeting.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Kalpana. It's a privilege to be the General Evaluator for today's meeting. As a General Evaluator, I will first call upon the evaluations for the prepared speeches. Then there will be a report by the tag team, and in the end, I will deliver my General Evaluator's report. So first, I am the evaluator for speaker number 1, Toastmaster Imran. So I will start with my report. Timer, you can start the timing. Toastmaster Imran, opportunities. You started your speech with a call to action, like imagine. Wonderful way to start a speech because you are giving a call to action to the audience and you instantly get their attention. So kudos to you on that. And I really like the uses of good phrases that you did in the speeches. For example, nothing is more expensive than missed opportunities. I really love that and it felt right into my heart. Another thing that I really liked in your speech was it had a good structure. I can sense that you have pulled out all the stops in preparing a good speech with a good content, with a good structure. So kudos to you. Some improvements points from my end was there were lots of good phrases, lots of punches, lots of ups and downs in the speech. But if you enhance the voice modulation, the delivery could have been a lot better. For example, when I started the evaluation report with the word imagine. So I was looking for that kind of an enthusiasm in the starting of the meeting. It is really important because the energy is contagious. When you start the speech with the content and the high energy, audience also is pumped up with that energy. So you can work on that. Another thing was there were lots of, as I told you, good phrases, and after good phrases, there were punchlines in the speech. So I request you to focus on the pace. For example, you used opportunity will never come to you. You need to go after it. So try to use this different kind of phrases, like first deliver the phrase in a fast phase, then deliver the punchline in a slow pace. It will be much more enhancing for the audience and they will stay connected with the thought of the line. Overall, wonderful speech. I really liked it and I really like the content. And I can see the effort you have put into it as I have evaluated your speeches in the past and I can sense the progress in it. So all the best to the future Toastmaster January and over to me again. All right. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to call upon evaluator number 2, Toastmaster Parita, to share her evaluation for her target speaker. Over to you.
I cannot see the timer cards.
Our timer is facing some kind of difficulty with the network. So, pardon her.
Timer cards in chat. Okay, she is back. She just messaged me, just a few moments back saying that she's facing a issue with connectivity today. So if someone can take over, would you be able to do it, Prince? since all others are mostly evaluators and already have a role.
Yes, I
Toastmaster
can do the
Prince,
timing. Yeah,
do
yes,
you
yes.
mind? You just can on it, and when it is like 2 minutes, just put it in the chat. And I request the evaluators to kindly look out for the chat and see where they stand with the timings. Right now, the white card
Sure.
is
Yeah,
on,
so
but just in case, yes,
yeah, am I audible to all of you?
yes, you are.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Good afternoon once again. Toastmaster Chetan, you indeed gave us a splendid speech. Your speech really had taken us aback. You engaged us in the very much beginning of the speech by showing us the photo of your grandmother, and it hooked us that what are you going to do next? You then briefed us the real life incidents or episodes slowly and steadily, which developed your personality. And you so very much related your characteristics in those growing years that your grandmother had tried to build up into your real life personality that you presently have in your corporate world. You very well related that beautifully with those examples that you gave us. That was really, really captivating. The speech title, MIMO, it was completely suspicious that what it would have meant unless and until you revealed us the full form of the abbreviation that you use, that is magic in and magic out, that your grandmother created in you as a person. And how it developed you as a person was very well illustrated by you with everything that you told. Coming to the, as you know, with that radiant speech that you gave us, there were few edges that were rough. So to give you the glimpse of those rough edges and polish them, I would really like in your further speeches, if you stand up and give your speeches even on this virtual mode. That would be really captivating and it would really engage the audience better. Voice and the vocal variety plays a very important role in storytelling, which was missing. When you said that she never allowed me to do anything, she fed me food till some grade, 5th or 6th grade, probably that would have been slow and emotionally touched. If you would have added a wee bit of vocal variety there, you could also give us the contradicting leadership example, like giving us the leadership qualities of different leaders, like Gandhiji had the different leadership quality and Adolf Hitler had a different leadership quality. So how does this different leadership quality helps us in our real life? You could have given such good examples for making it more engaging. With that, you definitely had a top-notch speech overall by giving us the clear idea of what leadership quality that you have as a person, accepting the people as they are. Wonderful take on the topic, Toastmasters Chetan. All the best for your further speeches.
Thank you so much, Evaluator Toastmaster Parita. Now I would like to call upon Evaluator number 3, Toastmaster Amruta, to evaluate her target speaker. Over to you.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are audible and visible.
Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster, and my target speaker, Toastmaster Akshaya. Firstly, I congratulate on delivering your speech successfully, level 2, project 3. Now come to evaluate part. You started your speech with game, gave us 3 scenario, and I was also thinking which scenario was true. So it was engaging. After that, you started talking about your mentors, your parents, grandparents, your cook's daughter. Also, you share your experience as a mentor. And after that, you share your relationship with Toastmaster Jemmy as a mentor. So you gave us example from day to day life, so we all can connect very easily. Uh, you shared experience about mentors as well as mentee. So how mentor plays very important role in our life. You also mentioned that we have to know the mentee side as well, because you told us that every child is different. So I like that. And now I told you what I like the most in your speech. First, you mentioned all your mentors, informal mentor as well as formal mentor. Like you are not only talking about professional side, you also talk about parents, grandparents. They were also informal mentors in our life. So that was very good part. After that, you shared your experience, how you were enhance your experience as a mentor. Then your framework was very good. Start with engaging part, start with game, then delivering examples one by one, starting with your childhood, move on to your MBA and then your Toastmaster. So your speech framework was very clear, very good, and message was also very clear. So, but there is always a scope of improvement. I think you were a little bit nervous. Because of that, the most important thing was missing on your speech is your smile. So when you are talking about your vacation memory at your grandparents' place, that was a very happy memory. So you can deliver that with smile. I think that. So second, your speech was little bit monotonous, so you can use voice modulation. Like you are talking about your annoying experience, so you're like you use that in your speech. Also, your hand gestures were very clear, but I didn't see your body language clearly. Also, facial expression was also not there. Conclusion, I conclude my evaluation here. Overall, great speech with strong message, one coin, two sides, short and crisp title. Engagement part was very clear, engagement part was very good. Speech framework was perfect. Clarity was also there, and overall, very good speech. Thank you so much for delivering the speech, and all the very best for your upcoming speeches. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amruta. Now it's time for the final evaluators report. Toastmaster Ajay, I request you to come up on the stage and deliver your report for your target speaker. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Geet. Uh, Congratulations, Toastmaster Mayur, for completing your L2 P3 speech of qualifying the speech. And you have started your speech with the question, and do you have mentor with asking audience to this question, and this engage the audience from beginning from your speech, and you have started with the Harry Potter story, and this is a story you bring from the movies, and you ask the question related to Harry Potter. This engage the audience as well. Your speech is very generous, where you have introduced your parents as a mentor. Basically, everyone have a mentor. First mentor is for the any child is their parents, mother and father. Then they come to the teacher, then friends, then another outside colleague, and external support as a mentor. And this was very wonderfully, and you have described their role as a mentor, just like your mother as a teacher and father. Then you move to the corporate journey, and you have very bad experience as a boss, and you have participated, you have switches many jobs. And this is I would suggest, if your journey is not end, then you can reach out to Toastmaster Chetan for a good boss. And this is nice journey, and everyone have a corporate journey. So this is And then you come to the Toastmaster journey, and where you serve as a president of the club, and you already focusing on your mentorship, and you already guide to the your team members, EC members, and you have always in the attitude to in the mindset to pass it on, and we rise by lifting others. These are the recommendation I like about your speech. Then I have few suggestions. First suggestion is this is frame, and when you are presenting your speech, there is you can set your frame. When you are using your hand gesture is cropping like this, but you can set your frames where we can see your complete hand gesture. Second is eye contact. You are during your speech, you are distracting for your eye contact is missing. And third thing is you can add quotes regarding mentors, like mentors and leaders are equal, I believe. You can add quotes. The mentor are the one who can goes the way, shows the way, and shows the way. And one more suggestion I have, you can add voice modulation when you are talking about the parents as a mentors and corporate journey and Toastmaster journey. In the while beginning this journey, you can speech, you can give more voice to the topic, and you can add one more point in your speech. Mentor can be a direct or indirect. You are in touch with the direct mentors, which is your mothers, your boss, your Toastmaster journey. But indirect mentor can be a person who you like as inspiration, like APJ Abdul Kalam, Elon Musk, and you maybe have some mentor. For example, Toastmaster uh, uh, Arjun have mentor as a Dronacharya, and Dronacharya as a mentee as a Eklavya. So most thing I like about your speech is title, structure, and content. And we were happy to listen your elaborate speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Geet.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ajay. Now I would like to call upon the timer of the day to share the timer's report for the evaluators.
Yes, am I audible and visible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, General Evaluator. The timing reports for the evaluator are Toastmaster Parita took 3 minutes 27 seconds. Toastmaster Amruta took 3 minutes 30 seconds. Toastmaster Ajay took 3 minutes 49 seconds. Toastmaster Ajay is not qualified for the OT.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Monica. Now moving on with the report, I request our counter of the day, Toastmaster Sakshi, to share her report. Over to you, Toastmaster Sakshi.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I would like to share my screen to show you the sheet that I have created. I will need the permission to share my screen if possible.
Yeah, now please check.
Yes. Thank you. I have received it. Yes, so here's the sheet. I have segregated some of the crutches that we generally use. So here are some crutch words such as and, well, but, so, like, you know. Filler words are pauses, short and long. There are I, that is the repetition, and phrase, this means, and other repetitions. So to proceed ahead, we have Toastmasters. So what I'll do is, instead of spelling out all these, I would like to share this sheet in the group so that you can have a proper look at it and see how many catch words you have used, filler words, and the pauses that you have used in your speech. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sakshi. Now I would like to call upon the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Shweta, to share her report. Over to you, Toastmaster Shweta.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Geet. So I'll point out the usage of the word of the day. So Toastmaster Mayur, Chetan, Toastmaster Kalpana, Toastmaster Ajay used the word adroit. So good, thumbs up to you. And coming to the good usage of word, Toastmaster Kalpana used word resonate, which means understood, matching, strangled, which means suffocate, voracious, which means something greedy about something. Toastmaster Chetan made you use of word altruistic, which means selfless concern for others. Chiseling out something out of someone. And then Toastmaster Parita used whale of time. That is a nice time. Then Toastmaster Imran made use of a phrase, opportunity will never come to you. So yeah, these were the good usage of words. Coming to the bad words or the bad grammar usage. So someone used will be always dream. So it should be will be always a dream. Someone used a interesting journey. It should be an interesting journey. Then someone used on that moment. It should be in that moment. Then someone used reached out them. That should be reach out to them. Then someone used later he comes back. So maybe it should be later he came back. So yeah, that was from my side. Thanks, and over to you, Toastmaster Key.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shweta. And now it's time for the general evaluators report. So I would like to start with the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kalpana. Fables are fabulous. What a wonderful theme. Listening to all those stories, I was remembering my own childhood because I remember Akbar Birbal, Tom and Jerry. Lots of memories just came back to me. So thank you so much for presenting us with the wonderful theme for today. Kudos to you. Moving on, I would like to start with the evaluators for today's meeting. Toastmaster Parita. I was actually quite impressed the way she positioned herself and the way she started. It was apt and I learned a lot from that. So no recommendation from myself. Kudos to you, Toastmaster Parita. Next, we have Toastmaster Amruta. Toastmaster Amruta, the beginning of the report was very good, but one recommendation from my end that keep it in a structure. I felt that there were lots of accommodations and lots of recommendations. I attended one of the evaluation contest sessions training. So what they recommend is try to minimize commendations to 3 commendations, recommendations to 2 recommendations, and an overall summary. Because what happens when you give too much of recommendations, the target speaker actually gets confused on what to take action on. So our main motive is to provide them with the call to action on what they should start working on right away. So keep a note of it. Moving on, Toastmaster Ajay. Toastmaster Ajay, same points for you. You also mentioned a lot of accommodations. And one more thing from my end, slow it down. I can feel a lot of pace in your evaluation. I can see the enthusiasm in you to provide evaluation, but slow it down. When you slow it down, the target speaker and the audience can listen you properly. And when they listen to you properly, they can realize what you already meant to say. Another thing, same thing, limit a recommendation. I felt that you gave around 5 to 6 recommendations, which will actually confuse the target speaker. So try to give 2, maximum to 3 recommendations so that they can start working on it. Moving on, our counter of the day, Toastmaster Shakshi, what an app report. Another thing, yeah, I really like the way that you will share the report, physical report in the group, but try to give the report in the physical session as well. And the way to do it is minimize the report in 2 sections, total repeated words and total crutch words. No need to report ah and ums and ah in the speech, but in that sense, the speakers can get the report in the real time sense. Because what happens after the meeting, nobody is that much enthusiastic or that much obedient to go look at it. Most people are not, some of them are, and I respect them. But for it's from my point of view, try to do that and it will make your report much more apt. Moving on, Toastmaster Shweta, and I really like the way she noted each and every good and bad uses of the word. One recommendation for you, Toastmaster Shweta, is, and I learned this the hard way from my mentor. He taught me that everything that we deliver on this platform is a speech. So a speech always has a structure. So try to structure your report with the opening, with the content of your report, and with the closing. In that way, it will be much more appealing to the audience. And I hope you can implement on it. Overall, what a wonderful meeting. I'm very much privileged to be a part of this today's meeting as a general evaluator. And I thank you so much for presenting me this wonderful opportunity. That's all from my end. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kalpana.
Thank you. Thank you so much, General Evaluator, for giving us a detailed report on the meeting. I also would personally like to thank you for pitching in and actually taking up the evaluation of Toastmaster Imran also. That was very kind of you and very responsible of you. You saved me a last minute rush asking or hunting around for someone to pitch in for the gap that I found when an evaluator backed out. So thank you so much for that. Moving on, I think it is time now to words the polls. From the report that has been shared, the timer report for the table topic, I think we Toastmaster Shweta is perhaps not qualified because she has spoken for about 15 seconds. Rest of all the table topics speakers are qualified. Toastmaster Monica, could you kindly launch the poll for the best table topic speaker? Absolutely. We can move on to the role player. Let us have the polls for the best role player. Yes, the polls for the best role player is done. Let us now launch the poll for the best evaluator. Yes, the polls for the best evaluator is done. Let us now launch the polls for the best auxiliary role player. Best auxiliary role player. All right. With that, we come to the end of the polls. I will just give the time for my SAR to actually ready the certificates. In the meantime, I would like to ask all of you as to what did you think of today's meeting, and any more short stories, any real life stories you would like to share here. An incident in your life, anybody. An incident in your life that you felt was like a story, or even a story. Anybody? Perhaps Toastmaster Chetan, you might be having. Yes, great. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chetan. Thank you.
Yes, so I would like to share my experience about Toastmasters, how I was introduced to Toastmasters. And this was actually quite unique. I was in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, when we were traveling outside in the country on an office offsite. And that's where I heard two of my co-workers who were sitting on the back seat of the car. They mentioned Toastmasters, and I asked them, like, what is Toastmasters all about? And they said, we have heard that it's about public speaking and leadership skills, and to enhance that. So it was my, I was lucky to have first joined the Toastmasters Club in Kingston, Jamaica. And it was a very different flavor. The country as a whole has a very, very friendly outlook towards life, and met some people who are genuinely very friendly. So apart from my grandmother, even 10 years of spending my time in Jamaica has played a big influence in terms of who I am today. So a big gratitude to them, the Jamaicans. And they always say that you can take a man out of Jamaica, but cannot take Jamaica out of a man. And that's something which resonates with me all the time. I do feel that. I actually have a Jamaican passport or a Jamaican nationality too, apart from the Indian passport. So my wife and I do have plans for possibly retiring there. So that's something that we can possibly do a Toastmasters excursion to Jamaica at some point of time, and that would be nice.
I think we are so seriously and sincerely looking forward to creating a story in Jamaica, believe me. Thank you so much for that warm welcome, and letting us know an inside story that you are a Jamaican at heart. That's really good. I think ultimately where we were born and brought up. I mean, of course, your heart has a place of India too, no doubt about it. But maybe that's the blood vessels and the bloodline that is Indian.
Right.
But your heart is Jamaican.
But I must thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. This is the first time we are interacting, and through Toastmaster Minakshi and through Toastmaster Libby, you provided an opportunity for me to present here. Thank you so much. I'm on a spree to complete my level 2 so that I can be a part of the International Speech Contest. I've done my CC on the last old manual, but this is right now a race against time. So thank you so much for facilitating this. This definitely helps me towards my goal of level 2. Really appreciate and gratitude.
Thank you so much, in fact, for coming in and making this meeting such an interesting meeting. Each and every one of you has contributed. And yes, I know Meenakshi has really brought us together, and I think I owe her a big one because she has made this meeting of mine successful. And we have got, I think, Prince, who is from Jaipur. We have got Geet, who he mentioned is from Baroda. As I told you, Parita, advantages of an online meeting. You get to see different faces, that's what you can always keep it in mind. My star tells me that the certificates are ready, and let us share the certificates. So Monica, kindly first tell us the best speaker, the best speaker, the best evaluator. All right, the best evaluator is Toastmaster Parita. Fantastic. Congratulations, Toastmaster Parita. Let us have a photograph of you. With this, just give me a second, though I'm trying my level best to handle the Zoom photos, but I think something is going wrong. So I'm going to click you even on this. Thank you so much. Congratulations. We had a wonderful evaluation insights from you. Let us now move on to the next winner of the day, Toastmaster Monica. The best speaker, Toastmaster Chetan. Absolutely. I think the Jamaican has really hit us hard today. Congratulations, Toastmaster Chetan. Wishing to hear a lot more insightful and entertaining speeches from you.
Thank you so much. And I love the way you conducted the session. It was absolutely flawless and awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Toastmaster Monica, over to you for the next. It is again Toastmaster Parita. Parita, I think the online Meetings are creating magic for you. The elf is smiling and so is the angels of the story. I have taken a photograph of you. Congratulations. Wishing you join us again and again. It would be wonderful to have you taking away all the certificates and prizes from Speakers Community Toastmasters Club. Yes, Monica, let's move on to the next winner. Oh God, that's wonderful. The audience has equally chosen Toastmaster Monica and Toastmaster Shweta. I'm going to pin both of you. Yes, and just a second, let me also see Toastmaster Shweta. There you are. Yes, and give me a second, please. Yeah, thank you so much. Wonderful. Congratulations to both of you. Very, very well grammarian report. I do want to say that because I have taken up the role of grammarian a lot and I know how difficult it is, to mark the T's and P's and the Q's that goes right as well as wrong. So congratulations, a very, very well deserved winning spot. And the same goes to you too, Monica. You make us proud every now and then. Continue on your learning curve. Thank you. Let us go to the next winner. Let's go to the next winner. Best role player goes to Toastmaster Geet. Wonderful Toastmaster Geet. That's really, really good. Congratulations to you. Wishing you all the best. And do keep coming and do save us. You're our SOS now. So whenever we feel that we have some last minute pictures, I think we'll be reaching out to you. Thank you for being a part of our club. It was wonderful. Do we have any more certificates left? Toastmaster Monica, I think we have covered all right. Fantastic. I want everybody to have their cameras on so that we can at least take one single memory. Right? Thank you so much. Thank you. I think Amrita, this camera is off. And all right, so once again, here I go. Thank you. Thanks a ton. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for making this an entertaining, huge success. Thank you for being a part. I hereby declare the 79th meeting of Speakers Community Toastmasters Club a close.